we have to reconnect YouTube also?
I'm doing YouTube right now.
Perfect.
And then just click on the link. I'm doing the YouTube right now.
I have already done that. I just make sure.
Nope, I'm doing it right now. And I'm letting people in the weight room. I'm so frustrated.
Okay, welcome back.
Yeah, we have a few more coming. Hold on. I apologize. This should not happen this way. I actually send emails specifically to the council clerk so this doesn't happen. But this is the second meeting in 2 weeks I've had this happen to me.
Yeah, I just got timed out. Did everybody else get timed out?
Yes, and it's
Thank
not
you.
supposed to happen that way. So I apologize. I think we have everybody back though. Yep, we do.
Excellent. Thank you, Bridget.
Just start again. Again, my apologies. I will make sure that doesn't happen next month.
Well,
So
Tim, you
where
were
we had just
commenting. Go ahead, Jonah.
where we had just left off, just to
Done.
bring everyone back after our brief commercial break. Our project has shrunk from 10 units down to 8 units, which, as I think Tim was pointing out, according to the original plan that we've seen, which accommodates the 10 units, even shifting those couple over, we should still be able to accommodate the existing setback fairly simply, and still have in excess of the existing 10-foot spacing we see in the current drawing. Is that an appropriate recap, Tim? All right.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
it
right.
seems to me that, if you're going to use 8 units, you can do it with no variances at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need any variances with 10 units. But if I can have 20 foot in between buildings or 3 foot in between buildings, it's going to look better along the road. It's going to be safer. But I don't need any variances whatsoever.
I don't think you do.
I don't. I agree with you.
Okay. In which case,
10 foot.
I'm sorry.
Okay, now we're still open on public comment.
No.
No, we had closed
We're
public
not?
comment. No.
Oh, you closed that out. Good for
Yes.
you. So the thing is, Eric, since you seem to have some legal knowledge in this, what do we need a motion? If he's withdrawing this, what do we need to do?
First of all, I don't think that Mr. Cohen's withdrawing this.
No, he did not report that.
Right, he's not withdrawing it, but he's agreed to modify it so that there are no variances needed.
Well, he's agreed to modify it. I think he's agreed to modify it with respect to the first variance. I don't think he's agreed to modify for the second variance, but I'll let Mr. Cohen
That's
answer that
kind of
question.
what I'm hearing too.
Mr.
I'm sorry,
Cohen?
Paul, what'd you say?
No, I was just to say, yeah, he's not agreed to variance number 2 yet. He'd like to still have the 10-foot setback.
Let's
Well,
let
if
the
you make
applicant.
fewer units, I don't think you need
Right.
that.
Understood, Dave. Let's hear from the applicant in
Yes.
his own words exactly what he's looking for.
Thank you.
I agree that I will forego the density, but I do wish to go forward with the setback.
Based on that statement, I think we can adequately say he has withdrawn his request for the first variance, and now we only have to discuss the second variance. Thank you, Mr. Cohen.
Thank you. All right. Does the board have any additional comments to make around the now sole variance request?
I'm struggling with, because the submitted site plan is with 10 units. I'm not knowing what the adjustment is to really fully evaluate the necessity for the 10-foot backyard / side yard setback.
I tend to agree. It's very hard
Can I
to
share my screen?
Sure. If you've got some drawings that will help, that'd be great.
I do. Go ahead while I find them. Where is it? Advanced files, here we are. Boy. I'm not used to Zoom, I'm sorry.
No one is.
It's
Well,
true.
let me do something else. Go ahead, continue on while I open this up.
I think we're at a bit of an impasse until we have
Okay,
a concept.
I've got it. All right. Well, that's the wrong one. Where was I? Share
At the-
screen.
Yeah, there you go, at the bottom.
All right, share screen. There it is.
Oh,
Ta-da!
Awesome. There it is. Thank you.
There you go.
Is there a way that you can click that plus button just so that we can see the measurements a little bit better, please?
Let me
Yay.
get it down
Terrific.
here.
zoom down to the bottom.
This is
Okay.
the Harvey. This is the bottom. This is based on a 10-foot setback. It's got a little bit of maybe a foot of play, but there's 27 feet in between and 27 feet in between now. I mean, I could show you the other one that meets 10, but we're not going to 10 anyway. And you can see that I can move this to the 30-foot setback, but now I'm going to lose well, 17 and 17 right there, simple math, instead of 27.
Yeah,
And
which is from my way of thinking, almost the same as 2 side yard setbacks,
Right.
which is almost perfectly in line with the rest of the neighborhood at that point.
And those 27-foot separations would just be grass in between them.
Oh yeah, that's going to be grass and it's going to be landscaped nicely, and there's going to be places for gardens and I've got trees going in and blah blah blah. This is not going to be student housing.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but you've increased the size of the units.
Yeah,
And
I went to a 66-foot instead of a 56-foot, if I can see correctly, and that was one of the reasons to go to 8. These are 1-bedroom apartments or condos, and that's still up in the air. But when I visit my dad, I need a place to stay. So there is a study that they could convert to a bedroom if they needed to, or use it as a study. So we've added some more space.
Yeah, I guess the thought that jumps out at me is that for the rest of Harvey, with the side yard setbacks being at 10 feet, that means that those buildings are roughly 20 feet apart. If we were to treat these the same, so instead of our 27 and a half feet, make it 20, then we're gaining back 15 of those 20 feet from the variance, and we're only giving like a 5-foot variance, which might be a little bit more palatable.
I agree with that. I mean, it's really nice to have the 27 feet, but we have to grant a fairly substantial variance to do that. People living in this sort of houses, I don't think, you're not going to have little children playing around them and stuff usually. So, I think scrunching those together a little bit to minimize the setback that he's requesting, I think is fine by me. Most times when we give, side yard setbacks is because Kent has very odd shaped yards, which this is, but he's starting with a clean slate. He can do anything he wants. So why try to beat the zoning code to death?
One
I was
comment
going to
I'll add.
offer the anonymity, and I asked earlier, if we could reduce this to a 50% variance, which should be a 15-foot variance, if that would work. And it looks like it could. I mean, it's up to the owner.
I would argue it doesn't need to be that large.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going back to 5. Benjamin, you were going to say something there.
5 would be good.
But look at this up top here. If you take this, now I've got the back of a building, so I got a window here. That's going to be the bedroom window right here into the side of this. window right there. So if I could space that, it's not just this, but it's this also as well.
That was precisely the comment I was going to make. I'm a little, just because of the site plan that we see here, I'm a little, it doesn't fit right squishing both of the, basically where the indicator is, where the hand is below the two on Lake, as much as possibly between the two others on Harvey. So that 27 feet between the two units facing Harvey, maybe squishing that, but maybe not an equal portion, or however the applicant wants to do. But I'm trying to consider, yes, the squish between the Lake one and the Harvey one is just a little bit more difficult. So that makes me think, well, I don't know what the applicant would want to do, but I think there is some wiggle room there.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm having trouble getting the 20-foot measure out of my head, because I know that it's, you know, for most other neighbors in that neighborhood, it's 20 feet between your kitchen window and someone's bedroom. That's normal living in the city. So even that doesn't bother me so much.
Everybody's freezing up.
Are there any other suggestions?
I guess my only suggestion was tighten up that green space between the two. They don't, because the ones on Lake Street back into the other two, that distance doesn't have to be the same as the others. So if you shorten the distance between the two units on Harvey, which are now 27, suppose you made that 20, that would pick up 7 feet off that distance. If they were 15 apart, which is still pretty wide, it's wider than most houses, then make it 15 and 20, that would pick up 25 feet of that variance. You know, admittedly, it would not necessarily from an overhead view symmetrical, but driving around neighborhoods, I don't generally use an overhead view because I don't use a drone. And, you know, it's nice to spread them out, but then you get into the thing, you've got a variance down in that southwest corner, which I don't really think you need. Or southeast corner, I'm sorry. Or at least it could be a lot minimized quite a bit.
Yeah. It sounded like Paul was willing to go up to 50% or 15 feet. I'm still kind of stuck at 5 for a variance. Tim and Ben haven't mentioned numbers. I'm not sure if you guys are where you are on that or not at all.
What is the distance between the two units that are facing Lake Street in this current view we're looking at?
Uh, 18 foot 6.5.
So it's in some world or whatever, 18.5 feet is acceptable. We're talking about going to 20 feet, you know, and I think obviously the builder or the applicant has 18.5 feet is okay. We're willing to do 20 and make it a 5-foot variance. And I think that that's working well within the parameters that the applicant is presenting. And I think that gives the consistency of spacing that everybody's talking about. And yes, at this point, really, all of the bedroom windows that are facing on Lake Street are going to be looking out their back window at their neighboring structures. There's no way we're going to get past that. You can talk about the one that's closest to Harvey and looking right in someone's kitchen window, whatever, but they're all going to be looking out the backyard. They're all going to be looking into their neighbor's backyard at their houses. I think that argument falls pretty flat. So I guess at this point, I feel like whether we say 18.5 feet to match what the builder or the designer, the planner is showing on Lake Street, or we could be generous and give them 20 feet and make it a 5-foot setback, or give them a 5-foot variance. I guess I think that that's perfectly reasonable.
I don't know about anybody else, but I just lost the whole thing again.
I think the rest of us are still here.
Well, you're smart people and I'm not. My Commodore 64 seems to have packed it up.
I can hear you, Dave.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, save file.
Well, I'm generally in agreement with what others are feeling, like the 5-foot. It's still a variance. It's still so we're talking 25 feet from the side. So the rear yard becomes 25 feet instead of required 30. It's a smaller variance ultimately. Yeah.
Would anyone care to make a motion? I would be happy to. I have the added bonus of having the cheat sheet in front of me. So if you
Okay, we'll let you go with
And I
it.
do not, so
fair.
go for it.
In case number BZ 20-025, with the applicant JKC Land Company LLC, owners of the property located at the vacant parcel at the corner of Harvey and Lake Streets, I move to grant the applicant's request for a 5-foot variance from the 30-foot minimum rear yard setback to allow a new building to be constructed 25 feet from the rear property line, a variance to section 1133.04B of the City of Kent zoning code.
I'll second that. All right.
Let's vote.
Yes.
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 Yes,
And yes, the motion passes unanimously.
Who was
Mr.
the
Cohen?
second? I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it was Tim,
I think it was Dave.
Dave.
I think it was Dave too.
All right,
Thank you.
Dave wins. All right, Mr. Cohen, thank you so much for your time and patience with us and fighting through the technological hurdles.
I don't envy your guys' jobs. Thanks for your time.
It's
You're
Bridget,
welcome.
Heather, and Eric. This is their job. Yeah, they're the hard workers.
That's a tough job. You have a great day.
Thank you so much. You
You
as
too.
well.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Jerry.
Take care.
All right, our next item up for bid is the September 21st, 2020 meeting minutes. I had a chance to review them. Nothing jumped off the page at me. Anyone else have any?
I'll move, we accept them as written or as submitted.
But I have no changes.
Agreed.
Can we get a second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
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 September meeting minutes are accepted and passed. Do we have any other business? Benjamin, is this your last meeting with us, or do we get you in January also?
This is it for me sitting in this seat. So
Wow, that definitely counts as other business, my friend.
Yeah, it does.
Well,
Thank
we're
you,
gonna miss you,
Benjamin.
Benjamin. You've
Yes.
made a good addition to the committee. You've brought up some good points over the years.
Mhm. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
will miss the
Great.
discourse. To be
yeah,
sure.
appreciate serving with you all. I just gotta focus on the kids a little bit. So
That's important too. Family always comes first.
Pretty awesome, really. You know.
I have some family upstairs that just arrived from Lima.
yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you,
I will-
Benjamin.
Yeah, thank you, Benjamin. It has been a sincere pleasure.
I'll see you
And
all.
hopefully-
tomorrow.
Tipton.
Right? I mean, yeah.
Hey, side
Absolutely.
comment, I loved your picture sitting on the front steps of our old church with your family. The
That's,
building on the corner of Park and Gogler was our old church. We were there 98 years.
yep, and that's the building my brother now owns.
Oh, it's your brother that owns it. Oh, how
Bell
cool.
tower.
Would
That's
you like to sell the
awesome.
bell? We'd love to have our bell back. Good luck in your future.
Thank you.
All right. If there's no other business, Bridget, Heather, Eric.
The council did appoint a new member, so they will be joining you in January.
Okay.
I do not know her. We no longer do interviews where they're in person in front of council, so it'll be a first meet for all of us. We will have a Zoom meeting with her ahead of time to kind of brief her a little bit on stuff.
Mhm.
But you will be joined by the new member after Benjamin leaves tonight next month.
All right.
Now, who else renewed? Was that Alan? Was that you, David?
Tim.
Tim Sarr.
What?
Tim, did you
Renewed.
renew?
Yeah, he was
Yes.
reappointed. It's not renew, it's reappointed by
Reappoint,
council.
yeah.
When do the rest of our terms end? Do you have that anyplace?
The clerk of council lets everyone know when they expire, but Heather can send out that tomorrow where everybody's at with regards to their listed expiration.
I think it's on the webpage under committees, because I think the
Oh.
other three of us are 2022.
Yes,
Yes,
Heather
I
that's
know
can
I
send
correct.
it
am.
out.
Yep, that's correct.
We'll get it. Yep. Okay, there you go.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. I would like to. Oh, go ahead.
I say, I'll let you speak, John, but then I think Ben has the final motion to make for the evening.
All right.
Yes.
Take it away, Ben.
I moved to end the meeting this evening.
Your last meeting, there you go.
I will second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And everybody have a great Christmas
Thanks,
break.
everyone.
Happy holidays.
Christmas,
Happy New
everyone.
Year.